And here's to people respecting women. Spoken by the certified woman respecter, Michael Cera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love him in this movie.
If anyone's the king of respecting women, I think it's him.
Oh, yeah. He's the ideal man in this movie, if you ask me.
He's a man written by women.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But in this case, he's a man written by Seth Rogen.
He wrote this?
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't know
literally, Jonah Hill's character is named Seth. It's just an autobiographical thing about him and his friends in high school. The him and the character Michael Cera plays, they're the two guys who wrote it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Huh. But anyways,
this is Male Manipulator March. We're closing it out with Superbad, which is a movie that some of you had recommended to us a while ago, and then we were like trying to like come up with a last Male Manipulator film, and I think you were the one who suggested it, and I'm like, yeah, this movie's literally about like teenage boys trying to get girls drunk so they can have sex with them. It's so gross. This movie is so gross.
Yeah, this is kind of like how 500 Days of Summer fits into this month. You know, where it's not like a movie for male manipulators. Maybe a little bit. But it is certainly about them. And mostly just about Seth. Seth is a male manipulator.
Yeah. What's Evan? Evan is trying his best, but is
Evan's
not.
been peer pressured into being a male manipulator.
And also, Fogel is manipulating nothing.
The cops? No.
Not even. They're manipulating him. Yeah.
No.
Young Fogel too pure for this world. He does, like, lie and say he's 25 and has sex with that girl, and she fully thinks he's 25, which is also super gross.
Yeah, no.
So maybe he's a little manipulatory in that way. But yeah.
The thing about Fogel for me is that when I talk, I know that I sound like Fogel. Just the way that I speak. Tight. All that shit.
I know, we were trying to pick a quote to open this episode off with, and this is just like the most quotable movie. It's so fucking funny. Seth Rogen and Evan, I don't know his real last name, but the Michael Cera character in real life, they started writing this movie when they were in middle school, when they were 13.
Oh my god.
So they were like, well, let's see if we can just like write a movie about ourselves. And they started writing it, and then obviously like it developed more as they had more real life experiences throughout high school, and like for a while they were gonna play themselves in it, but then they like kind of grew out of it a little bit. But Jonah Hill is only 2 years younger than Seth Rogen. Isn't that wild?
Are you serious?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
God.
But he certainly looks like I'm not mad with this high school casting. It's they're a little old for it, but
You think?
I think he was 22 at the time.
Okay.
Which Jonah Hill maybe looks a little too old. Michael Cera always looks like he's in high school, and I think Fogel was actually 17, and like his mom had to be on set every day because he was a minor, which like really just makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I love that. I feel like I've never seen that actor in like anything else either, is the thing. I just know him as McLovin.
He was in Kick-Ass.
Oh
plays,
shit!
Like, the villain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
true. But other than that, literally,
Nothing.
Yeah, and he's like always that guy.
Just that dude getting typecast twice. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's like I feel like this is definitely like got put on at every party kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like,
no, for sure.
Like, it's like The Office in the way that it's like always on in the background at social functions. I feel like Superbad's totally a staple of like nobody's really watching it, but it's just on.
Yeah. No, this is definitely one that like I loved it a lot when I was younger, and definitely like when I was in high school. I haven't watched it in like, I think this is the first time in probably like 3 years or so, and it's still good and it's still funny and all that stuff, but it doesn't quite hold up for me. I don't know. Maybe it's the trying to get girls drunk to have sex with them thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe
it's icky.
Yeah. Maybe I've seen it too many times, honestly, but.
Yeah, this movie is icky, and it literally was written by 13-year-old boys, so that's the reason why the humor is maybe does not hold up. I think it's fucking funny.
Yeah. It is
and I like this movie a lot, and it makes me laugh, like, audibly when I watch it, which is not usually the case for a lot of films. But yeah, it doesn't age super well. Also, as you know, when you're not in middle school or high school, it's like, okay, like being vulgar for the sake of being vulgar can only be so funny. It works like most of the time, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh, okay, like let's tone it down. Well, not tone it down, but just like let's reel it let's reel it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I will say that if 13-year-old boys wrote one of the best jokes in the world, which is just the whole McLovin thing, then I'll give it to them.
Yeah, right.
Because that's solid. That's one thing that's like one of the best jokes in any movie. I don't know why, but it tickles me.
What does he say? Why do you pick a name that sounds like an Irish R&B singer? I fucking, like just all the one-liners in this movie.
How old are you?
Fucking get me.
Old enough.
I also just love that the cops in this movie are just fucking buffoons.
Oh yeah,
like,
this is the most realistic depiction of cops that I've ever seen.
oh yeah.
I love Bill Hader in this too. I just love Bill Hader in general, but like the tiny little glasses that he wears in this.
Literally,
Beautiful.
my viewing experience of this movie was me just Googling every man who's in it to see if they're married or not. Like, I was like, Bill Hader, wife. Seth Rogen, wife. Michael Cera, wife. Like, I just wanted to.
Why?
I'm like, because I need to pursue. Bill Hader, I don't think Bill Hader's single. I think he's happily married, but.
I would hope.
I'm like, why is Seth Rogen like hot right now with this like ugly ass handlebar mustache? I'm like, I kind of like it.
I love it. I love Seth Rogen. Oh my goodness. His pottery. I love his pottery.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I love his Instagram where he's constantly just like, made my 400th bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I made another vase this weekend.
Yeah, look at this vase. Like, this is what I want. You should quit movies if you so feel like it, Seth, and just make pottery.
Yeah, right? Like, get A-list famous to then just retire at, like, 40 to, like, do a hobby. Like, do a craft hobby. That's the fucking dream, man.
Is you get famous.
Like, I'm gonna get really into, like, macrame.
Get famous so that you can just blow up your Etsy. That's the goal.
That's the dream. Seth Rogen also married. His wife is in this movie. She's one of the like the people at the party. She's not the girl with the period, but she's like just one of the they say something like "Shut the fuck up, Scarlett." And
oh
that's Seth Rogen's
yeah.
wife. So yeah,
that's like such a weird part of the movie that I like forget happens. You know what I mean?
that's where the humor kind of loses me.
Yeah.
Is at around that time stamp of the film where I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they burn the cop car, and then I'm like back.
Yeah,
in it,
exactly.
I'm like, okay.
Like, once they're at, like, the actual high school party, I'm like, okay, yeah. This I can get into, but...
Yeah, okay, so, like, you can't even really recap this movie, because there, like, is no plot. It's just these two best friends who are gonna go to different colleges, and they're gonna do, like, the one last party before we graduate type storyline, and their friend Fogel gets a fake ID so he can buy everyone booze, and then they sort of get split up at the liquor store, and Fogel goes with these two cops who think, well, they don't actually think he's 25, but they're kind of playing along with it, and they like go on a little hijinks, and then Evan and Seth, who are Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, they are like also trying to get booze to bring to this party because they want to get girls drunk so that they can fuck them, which is really gross. Yeah, they just kind of go their separate ways and have all these crazy hijinks, and then they end up back at the party all together. And nobody gets laid except for Fogel, which is weird, because that's like not what the plan was. And then they learn to respect women, and then Emma Stone is there, and they make a tiramisu at one point. It's literally, this is just like a dialogue-driven movie, like no plot, just funny punchlines.
Exactly,
so
no, entirely.
I forget. That's my recap.
I forget that Emma Stone is in this.
This was her first movie.
Really?
Yeah, this was her first role ever.
I like her side bangs in this.
Oh my god, atrocious. Not a single person is dressed, like, passably in this movie, and it's fucking perfect.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
Jonah Hill's, like, too long cargo shorts. and the short sleeve like plaid button up. It's so and her side bangs and like the low rise jeans, disgusting.
Oh yeah, because this was what, it was 2007.
Yeah,
on the nose, so on the nose. It was perfect.
Fogel's vest. Fogel, you look like Aladdin.
This is an all-star cast, though, for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. I think other than the Fogel, I don't know that actor's name, but it's like every time a person comes up, you're like, oh, it's them. Like
Dave
even
Franco?
background characters. Yeah, right. He's in it for all of 3 seconds, and you're like, what the fuck, Dave Franco? Like literally background characters are like A-list celebrity, which I mean, obviously they weren't in 2007, but it's just funny to see the way that this movie has
Blossomed.
panned out for all these people. Yeah.
No, exactly.
My favorite like jump scare actors are when they're at the adult party and they're in that room where everyone's ripping lines of coke.
Yeah.
There's 2 actors in that I immediately was like, what? Because like again, I don't think I've watched this movie in a long time. But Bill from Freaks and Geeks, Martin Starr, I think is his name. He's also one of the teachers in the new Spider-Man movies who like goes on the trip with them or whatever. Yeah. So he's there. And he was on Freaks and Geeks with Seth Rogen. So I'm sure that's like how they weaseled him in there. And then my favorite, David Krumholtz, who plays Bernard the Elf in the Santa Claus movies.
Oh my God.
You know the white elf with dreadlocks? Like, what the fuck in the Santa Claus movies?
That?
Because I'm crazy. Because I have an acute mental illness called IMDb. Like, but I was like, David Krumholtz. I was like, Bernard the Elf doing coke.
Oh my God.
I love it. I love to see it.
Absolutely wild.
Or even like the guy who drives them to the party to get the booze. He's like on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know his name, but he's fucking doing it. Like like literally everyone in this movie is so famous.
No, exactly. One thing I will say, or not even will say, more of a question. Do you think that the scene where Jonah Hill's character is in like 4th grade or something and just drawing dicks, do you think they pulled that from real life?
Oh, I fucking hope so. I want to be the intern who they're like, we need 1,000 intricate penis drawings, different scenarios. They were beautiful. They had
gorgeous.
A ton of artistic merit. They should have really fostered that within young Seth and put him in art classes.
Genuinely. He would have been prolific.
When I was finding fun facts about this movie, it was something like they had over like 1,000 dick drawings, but they only ended up using, like 30 of them or whatever. But so whoever was drawing the penises for this movie really went gung-ho with it.
That's so funny. I love that. I hope they had a great time with it.
I think every young boy has that affliction though. Like,
you think?
Like, why do boys just want to draw dicks on things? Yes.
I mean, like,
have you ever been like in an elementary school? They're just like penises carved into everything.
No, I get that. But like to the caliber?
No. No. Hard no.
If there's one doodle of a penis on like a bathroom stall and there's a vein on it, that's how you know there was effort put in. That's the most effort someone will put in.
When there's like, you get the veins in there, you get some nice detail, some hair on the balls, exactly. Some effort. We like to see effort.
Yeah.
I wonder if like statistically, what is the comparison between penis drawings versus the S? The S that you make with the 3 lines and then you connect them. I wonder, like, which one has appeared on more American middle school bathroom walls, like, statistically.
I don't know. That's a really good question, because I feel like the S has faded over time, but dicks are forever.
Has the S faded?
I don't know. I think kids still do it. I think kids still do it now, but...
I hope so.
I mean, it was definitely around for way before we were, like, small and all that shit, so... I don't know. Maybe it has
culture.
Maybe it has some longevity to it.
It's like how they say that there's like only like a few true American inventions because like we steal everything. Yeah. So it's like jazz music, but I don't even think that's one of them. And like peanut butter or something, or like the only true American inventions or some shit like that. I think the only true piece of American culture is that S.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But the drawing the penises on everything, have you ever seen that Netflix show, American Vandal?
No. Should I?
It's pretty old. I think it came out when we were like in high school, and it's literally it's like a mockumentary, like a mock crime documentary about a kid who spray paints penises on everything in a high school, and they're like trying to find out who did it. It's really stupid,
That's
but
funny.
I remember liking it a lot, back in 2017 or whenever it came out. But literally, yeah, the same premise of like somebody won't stop like putting penises on everything in this high school.
It's a serious affliction. Yeah, a lot of dick talk in this, obviously. Like, not shocking.
That's when we were trying to pick what quote to do. I think I will stand by that the best line in this whole movie is, "The thing about my back is that it's located on my cock." So fucking funny. Like, and the delivery too. Jonah Hill deserved an Oscar. I don't know who won in 2008. Probably like fucking Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah,
for
probably.
My Left Foot or some shit like that. No, should have been Jonah Hill for, well, Jules, the thing about my back is that it's located on my cock.
Yeah, this is just the second week in a row we're gonna fawn over Jonah Hill.
Right. Well, yeah, that was we picked this movie because last week we were like riding high on Jonah Hill's performance in Wolf of Wall Street. And we're like, let's just keep it going. Like, let's just keep the train fucking chugging along.
One of my other favorite scenes in this is the liquor store montage. That's I think probably Jonah Hill's best acting in this movie. When he is like walking into the liquor store and he's going through all the scenarios in his head of what could happen.
Oh my god. Yes. When the old lady buys it for him, and because this is nothing quite captures like the adolescent fear of doing something you're not supposed to be doing and feeling paranoid that every single person around you is like hyper aware of your existence. Like, that scene so perfectly captured of like, I'm 18 and I'm in a liquor store and everyone is looking at me, and or like also when Fogel's using his fake ID
oh my
too.
God,
that
yeah.
like that whole scene, I'm like, it's just so fucking perfect of like
Just the fear.
Oh my god, I heard they added more hops to it. I love this stuff. I've been drinking it for years.
Him going and spilling the beer all over the floor in the liquor store.
Yeah, like that specific moment is like when you do something to draw so much attention to yourself that just could have fucking been avoided if you weren't so paranoid.
Yeah, oh yeah, entirely.
Maybe I just have clinical anxiety, but that's how I feel like all the time. I'm like in Trader Joe's and I'm like I have to circle around a few times if there's like too many people in front of the orange chicken.
Yeah.
Like I just can't say excuse me. I have to like do laps.
You've already checked everything else off your list. You're like, shit, I can't even go and do something else.
Yeah, right. Or like during peak COVID when there were arrows on the ground at all the grocery stores, and I just always felt like I was fucking walking the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Like, I swear to God, I'd think I was following them, and all of a sudden just arrows are pointing at you, and you're like, ah!
Dude, Michael Cera, throughout just the mid-2000s, with his filmography, is just running. Always running. Juno, he's running. This, sprinting.
Running. I said, get that Polly Bleeker run going, Michael Cera. And that one scene where he sprints, and he has such a unique running form,
it's so
too.
perfect.
It's like, he looks like a Lego, like that none of his limbs, like, have joints. Like, he's just stiff.
Yeah.
It cracks me up.
It's so funny.
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess, so originally Seth Rogen was gonna play himself, but then he's like, I kind of grew out of it, and then they found Jonah Hill, who was, like, obviously very perfect to play, like, a young Seth Rogen. Like, he knocked it out of the park. But so when they were casting for the Evan character, they're like, we were less trying to find, like, a replication of Evan as a person. We were trying to, like, find a best friend for Jonah Hill. So it was all about, like, who was gonna work the best with him, I guess, which is kind of cool. And I was watching an interview that he did pretty recently where he was saying that he would always, because they improv'd and like ad-libbed a lot, that he always wanted to make Michael Cera like crack, like laugh in a scene or something, and he could never do it because he was just like so like stone-faced in character all the time. And he's like, I was trying so hard, and he's like, and some of the best lines from this movie were like me intentionally trying to get him to break character.
Oh, that's so funny.
He's like, and the one time it fucking happened, he's like, I sneezed. And he just started cracking up. And I hated that was the thing that, like, made Michael Cera crack. It was like, I sneezed, and he thought that was so funny. Versus, like, saying actual funny shit. I don't know. I just thought that was, like, cute. The two of them. Very
I want to
cute.
know what line.
Cute on-screen
Yeah,
besties.
right? I want to know what lines now were improv. Just
Improv.
I always like the one, what is it, when he runs onto the freaking soccer field and he's like, she wants my dick in and around her mouth.
I was just gonna go down on her for several hours.
Oh my god. No, I so believe that. Jonah Hill seems like he's outstanding with improv.
Because I know most of Wolf of Wall Street was
exactly.
all, like, improv shit, too.
Yeah, no.
So. But I feel like this movie also so captured that, like, weirdly specific thing in high school when you, like, would walk into classrooms that weren't yours. Because it's like he runs onto the field during the gym class, and then he also, like, goes into, like a math class or something? Or no, the cooking class. No, they were both in the cooking class. I don't know.
Fogo walked into the cooking class, yeah.
Oh, yes. And she was like, get out, was that you? That was me in high school. I would just walk into rooms. I would go on field trips for, like, classes that I wasn't in. I would, like, get a permission slip from. So, all the field trips I went on in high school were, like, for classes I fully was not enrolled in.
No, this was not at all my experience. I don't think I ever walked into a class that I didn't belong in.
Oh, really? I feel like that was, like, most of my day was me hanging out in classrooms that I was not in that class.
Oh my god, no, I did not have that experience at all. I remember, like, every now and then someone else would, like, do that and come into my classes. That's so funny. I just know you were in Miss Big's room.
I know, I was, like, eating lunch, like, in the teacher's lounge. Like,
did not attend any classes, just wandered around. That's wild to me that you just went on field trips that you had no reason being on.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to the NPR studios. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in the journalism class.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna go to that.
And no teacher ever questioned it?
No. Because I'm kind of forgettable. Like, I just kind of look like an American Girl doll, so I just kind of blend in, you know? Like,
fair enough.
Just wear something kind of nondescript. They're like, yeah, she's probably in this class.
Oh my god. You had it all figured out. That's really funny.
If any of you are in high school, go on field trips for classes that you're not in. Those are always the best ones.
That's true. I remember, did you go to, we went to, like, freaking Battleship Cove or some shit like that?
Oh my god. I was not there, but were you there the year the kid jumped off the boat?
No. Yeah, for those that are listening.
There's, like, some, like, it was, like, a naval base or something, and some kid straight up, it's, like, a boat the size of, like, a fucking...
It's like a military boat.
Like a battleship.
Yeah, it is a battleship. That it fully is a battleship.
And some kid from our school just jumped off the back.
Yeah. And,
like, the Coast Guard had to come. It was, like, a whole...
No, I wasn't there for that. That was a couple of years before us. I was there for the first year that they let us back after. And the teachers drilled us. They said, you can't fuck this up for us. Absolutely insane. I think it was like the kid's parent dared them to, too, and so that's why they did, which is so funny.
Oh my god. This is so off topic, but you went on, like, the coolest school trip ever. You went to fucking Costa Rica.
Oh, I did go to Costa Rica.
I did not weasel my way into that one. They were like, we know you are not an environmental scientist. You cannot go.
I wasn't in the class.
See?
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I wasn't in that class. I did weasel. Yeah, no, we were there for 10 days. I got thrown off a horse, so that was really fun.
You did that one, and Henry went on the trip to fucking South Dakota.
Yeah, didn't he get get charged by like Buffalo or some shit like that?
Probably. Yeah. I'm over here being like, I snuck onto the NPR trip, and you and Henry are over here like you actually took like full on school based vacations.
Yeah, that was neat. Someone got stung by a scorpion when we were there, so that was also
shit.
Crazy.
I would love to go to Australia, but I'm just like afraid of large bugs. That's the one thing. That's just the one thing holding me back.
Yeah, no,
not like money or
no, the bugs were the bugs were a lot. No, see the one thing for me that was so realistic about this movie, besides, like, I mean, for you, I think it was sneaking into class, or not even sneaking, just walking into random classrooms. For me, it was that the day after these boys are fucking hammered, they wake up without a single ounce of a hangover. I don't know if you had that, but I feel like when I was in high school, I was never hungover once. And now I'll have 4 beers now, and I'll feel disgusting in the morning.
Don't underage drink, but the benefit is that your young body can rebound so fast.
See, I think when I started getting hangovers was when I had the state track finals the next day, and it was me. Everyone woke up still drunk too, which is the funny thing, and we all went. We ran, like, our worst times ever. It was great. Everyone was a captain on the team. I was like, maybe my body isn't built for this.
And they like go to the fucking mall. They like go to the mall to go like bedsheet shopping.
I'm hungover until 5 o'clock now. It takes me an entire day to rebound after a hangover.
So we're here with my mom, Jen. She hosts a segment in the middle of the podcast called Chocolate or Vanilla. It's a game. She just gives us two things. We say which one we like better. And I have a feeling that there's like a weird theme this week, right? Because you were like giggling to yourself before this.
Yeah,
What is the theme? Please tell me.
Okay. So since the movie is Superbad, I went with oxymorons. Because of Superbad is an oxymoron, right?
Yeah, okay. Like jumbo shrimp?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's going to come up.
All
right. So some of these might actually be defined as oxymorons, and some might be a little shaky, you know? But all right, ready? Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Still vanilla this week.
Okay. Chocolate. All right. Boneless spare ribs or jumbo shrimp?
Boneless spare ribs. Or I have to pick jumbo shrimp. I'm a shrimp girl.
Yeah, no. Definitely on that shrimp wave.
All right, I'm going to go boneless spare ribs.
My cats had shrimp for dinner. They're spoiled. But I was kind of jealous. I was like, that looks kind of fire.
I just saw Dara's cats for the first time in a while, and Bean is getting fat. Bean is eating lots of shrimp, I think.
She's eating jumbo shrimp.
Mm.
I love Bean. I love Winston and Bean. The song Forever Young or the song Sounds of Silence?
Forever Young. I don't think I know Sounds of Silence.
It's got Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the song Forever Young kind of like pisses me off for some reason, so I'll go Sound of Silence.
Okay. Why does it piss you off?
I don't know. I just don't like it's just one of those songs. It just kind of irks me a little bit. It's just
I feel
a little
like it's
annoying.
always in like grocery stores. It's very like retail playlist 101 type.
Yeah.
Beat.
I don't know.
All right, I'll go Sounds of Silence also. The movie True Lies or the movie Definitely Maybe?
I guess I don't think I've really seen either of these, but I know Definitely Maybe is like a shitty rom-com, right? So I'll go with True Lies.
I also don't think I've seen either of them. But
I haven't seen True Lies is the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis.
No?
Mm-mm. Oh wow.
No. I'll say Definitely Maybe just because I like the title better.
Okay, I will. I'll go with True Lies.
I was recently in the same room as Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm a different person now.
That is wild.
The Bruce Springsteen song "Dead Man Walking" or Stevie Nicks song "Landslide."
Landslide, obviously.
Yeah.
11 out of 10 times, I'm choosing Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, it's Landslide for sure.
Yeah, Landslide. I think that is the most covered song, like, in the history of songs.
Oh, the Dixie Chicks version, though, is so good.
The Glee version is really good, too.
Yeah, okay. Right. How is Landslide an oxymoron?
Well, I thought that one was shaky. Like, land and slide are completely opposite things. All right, ready? The yoga pose, Peaceful Warrior, or the yoga pose, High Lunge?
Can I choose Happy Baby?
I don't think that's an oxymoron, though.
That's debatable. I'll go with, what is it, Peaceful Warrior?
Yeah.
I'll go with Peaceful Warrior.
I have no yoga experience whatsoever, but High Lunge sounds, like work, so I guess I'll go Peaceful Warrior.
Can I pick Shavasana, the one where you just lay on your stomach?
Definitely.
Corpse pose?
I'll go with Peaceful Warrior also. All right. White chocolate or bittersweet chocolate?
Bittersweet chocolate. I do not fuck with white chocolate. I think that shit is nasty.
I fucking love white chocolate. So.
You disgust me.
I'll go with white chocolate also.
Yes.
X-Men Days of Future Past, the movie, or Back to the Future, the movie?
Back to the Future. It's just more iconic, I think.
Is Days of Future Past the first one in that like new reinstallment sort of thing? What one was that? So. I'll go with that because I actually enjoyed that movie. I don't know. They got shaky after the first one, but if that's the first one, then yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll go with the X-Men also. All right, here's the triple one. So these are all Bond movies. Live and Let Die, Skyfall, or Never Say Never Again?
The only James Bond movie I have ever seen is the one that we covered on this podcast, and you did not say Casino Royale, so I have no... Live and Let Die is, what, an Aerosmith song? I'll pick that one.
I think it's the Beatles, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's Paul McCartney did it for this movie. I will go with Skyfall. I really fuck with Skyfall.
Okay. I'll go with Skyfall also. Dare, if you don't want to pick a movie, you could go with the Bonds that were in these movies were Roger Moore versus Daniel Craig versus Sean Connery.
I literally could not care any less.
Really? Okay. You can edit that out.
Until Dev Patel is James Bond, then I don't care.
Ugh. Yeah.
So speaking of Dev Patel, Slumdog Millionaire or Perfect Storm?
Slumdog Millionaire is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still haven't seen it because this was definitely in a chocolate or vanilla sometime before, but I've only ever heard good things, and it seems like a good movie that I'd really like. So I'll say Slumdog Millionaire.
I'll definitely go with Slumdog Millionaire also. Okay, saying somebody is super mean or saying something is stupid good?
Stupid good. Mm-hmm. I think I put stupid before, like, positive things all the time.
Yeah, no.
Or just saying something is like, that's stupid. Like, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I feel that. I say the same thing. So, yeah, I'll go stupid good.
Yeah, me too. And last one. Speaking of the Beatles, the song Hello Goodbye or the song Hard Day's Night?
I'll go with Hello Goodbye.
I think I'm definitely going to go with Hard Day's Night. That's probably one of my favorite early Beatles songs.
Yeah, I like both these songs. I'll go with Hard Day's Night also. And that's it for Oxymoron.
I like that. That was a good one, Jen.
Interesting theme overall. Jen, you're really digging into the depths of your brain for these. We don't pay you anything. So
I think the themes are getting harder and harder to come by. So if anybody wants to suggest any, I'm down for suggestions.
Send us. So all of our information is in the description. Send us DMs on new chocolate or vanilla themes. All right. Well, as always, thank you for hosting this lovely segment.
I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye, Jen.
Bye.
Jen was really tickled with herself about this one, though. She's like, I have a theme, and it's really weird. She's like, I don't know if I should do it. I'm like, Jen, what did she say? She said it was like cerebral in a bad way, and I'm like, that's the definition of this podcast, is like cerebral in a bad way.
Maybe that should be our description on the fucking Spotify.
But I know that I like talked about this when we covered Booksmart, and like, I'm not trying to say that this movie originated the like one last party before we graduate genre, because it didn't. And like, I know there are a million other movies that kind of follow this sort of beat by beat thing, but they're just so fucking similar. And like, not only that, but Beanie is literally Jonah Hill's younger sister, that I just can't not draw the comparison to the two of them. And I'm not gonna shit on Booksmart. You know, Booksmart is a fine movie, and it is a less heteronormative, creepy, sexist. Like, this Booksmart arguably does this better and more progressively, and I give it that. But it's like so similar down to the like codependent best friends who are going different places for college and have some sort of like bottled up tension that they're not addressing, that then comes to a peak at the fruition of the party. Like, you know, like that, like, that's so fucking specific.
Yeah.
And the same. It's the same movie.
It entirely is. Do you think that Beanie, like, hit up Jonah before, like, she took on the role and was like, hey, I'm redoing your movie. Is that okay?
I'm doing, like, a more progressive feminist version of your 2007 movie.
Yeah,
Hope that's okay.
I
wonder if that's literally why they casted her, because it was, like...
Olivia Wilde probably thought she did something. It was, like, it's one of those things, like, when musicians will go and, like, accidentally, like, steal a riff from someone else or whatever and just copy it, and then it's like a whole big thing. Olivia Wilde probably had that same thing. She's like, I've got this genius idea. And then someone was like, you mean Superbad? And she's like, well, the company's already picked it up. We're starting production in 3 weeks. So yeah.
Literally already been greenlit, so But yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that Superbad invented this movie genre or like invented any of those tropes because they totally didn't. But it's just like the striking similarity is like so wild to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is the same movie. Like that's not at all. I don't know. It's not trying to hide it.
It's like they can't make it to the party. Like they're trying to get to the party and then they keep getting sidetracked with like side quests. Like,
yeah.
Like literally, I could vaguely describe the plot and I'd be like, which movie am I talking about? And
I could not tell
it could
you.
be either of them.
One thing. So right before Chocolate or Vanilla, we were talking about like things that were really relatable in this movie. One of the things that was so unrelatable in this movie was the fact that they had home ec class. I wish I had home ec. I would have loved it. And how long is home ec? Do you know how long it takes to make a tiramisu? Hours. That's a 3-hour class. I'm just kidding. I have no idea how long it takes to do something like that, but it's longer than a normal class period. We had like 1.5-hour classes in our high school. But like normal people had like what was it, like 50 minutes or some shit like that?
Yeah, we had 4 classes a day. I would like to spend a quarter of my day baking a tiramisu.
Yeah.
I know that when we were seniors, they started a class called Real World Warriors where they like taught you how to do your taxes, but I think that's the closest thing to like a home ec class that our high school ever had.
I wish.
I know we had like a health class that we had to take in middle school where we like made smoothies. I remember that, but we never, like, did baking or anything. There were never any elaborate, like, Great British Bake Off style.
I made like, a pizza in middle school or something like that. We had, like, it was, like, sort of like a home ec class, but it was really weird. It's like they grouped it in with, like, your art class, because you'd rotate and you'd do, like, art. Or, like, then we had, like, wood shop and all that shit. Or, there was one, I swear to God, we learned about architecture. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. They're, like, sex ed, home ec, art, and architecture are like the pillars of society that we have to teach these children.
Why was I drawing buildings? Why was I building I was building a tension bridge out of like popsicle sticks.
They were like, we need to teach these kids how to put on a condom, how to make pizza, how to do art, and how to do architecture.
Yeah, no. I should not have been. That was one thing. There's a scene where they're in like wood shop or whatever. And Seth's just like, Evan, like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just drilling holes. There's only 2 weeks left. It doesn't matter. Like
that is so true. We like fully did woodshop in middle school, and I'm like, who was letting me use a bandsaw?
For real.
Who was letting 13-year-old me use a bandsaw? Like, that's not...
I'm so shocked I still have all of my fingers. It was insane. I think they probably did... They gave us all of that in middle school, because this was before, like, people started, like, showing up to school high and shit like that.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I know, like, the kids... Because we had a tech program in our high school and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
So if you wanted to just spend all day building houses... Like,
no. I don't know. It was wild stuff.
I was, like, afraid of boiling water until I was, like, 15, though, so maybe that could have been beneficial.
Yeah, that sounds like a personal thing.
I did, like, put tinfoil in the microwave multiple times throughout my life, and, like, I never made the association that, like, it was the tinfoil that was the problem. Like, it took more times than it should have.
Oh, God, the microwave's on fire again!
Damn! I think one of my favorite characters in this movie, though, is Michael Cera's home ec partner, and he, like, puts the little cat ear whiskers on him with flowers. So fucking funny.
I love it. I would want to be Evan's partner.
Definitely don't want to be Seth's partner. He was, like, humping her from behind.
Yeah,
I did not like that.
No, was not here for that, but what are you gonna...
Emma Stone's voice in this movie is like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Are you one of those people that hates Emma Stone?
I don't hate her, but she's not my favorite.
Okay.
I don't think I get the hype. You know, like, I think she's a fine actress, but I don't think she's, like, the greatest of all time or anything. But her like, vocal fry that she does in this role, like, I get that this was her first role ever. She's very young, but I was like, why are you talking like, oh my God.
See, it didn't bother me until you said it.
Like, literally, that's my only impression of her in this movie. It's like that she has, like, atrocious side bangs, and she's, like, purposefully talking in the lowest humanly possible register that her body can muster.
No. She's, like, pulling, like, an Elizabeth Holmes type shit. Do we want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I can't really play Fuck, Marry, Kill in this movie.
I think we could do
The two cops.
like we could do the two cops and then like either the veterinarian alcohol store worker.
Oh,
The girl behind the counter at the package store. There's also like the creepy guy who drives them to the party. And everyone at that party is adults, I think.
Oh, this is tough because I don't want to fuck or marry a cop. I'm gonna
ACAB, but not Seth Rogen. Like, these
Yeah.
cops are so incompetent that they just ACAB themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'll go. Okay, I'll say I'll marry the veterinarian because she just seems stressed. I think she needs some a support system in place. So I can be that for her. I'll fuck Bill Hader, and I guess I'll kill Seth Rogen. That's all I got.
I'm gonna kill the veterinarian just cause.
Throwaway character.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fuck Seth Rogen and I'm gonna marry Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can't even play it from the whole
No,
movie because
there's
those are
nothing
like
else.
literally the only like of age people. So it's kind of a bust this week, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to marry every actor in this whole film because literally the whole time I was Googling, like, do I have a shot with Jonah Hill?
He's all tatted now too. He looks great.
Hot.
Right?
I hated, like, there was this, like, weird, like, revival when everyone was like, oh my god, did you realize that Seth Rogen is hot? Like, yes. We've known. Like.
Did you not watch Freaks and Geeks? Like.
Right? But there's this funny TikTok that, like, I was thinking when I was watching this movie, and it was like what people think the female gaze in films is, and it's like Brad Pitt, and like, but it's like what the female gaze actually is, and it's like Paul Dano, Michael Cera, and the kid from Skins. What's his name?
I don't know, but I feel like
I don't know, but then everyone was commenting, being like, speak for yourself, leave me out of this. Like, but I'm like, that's literally me. I'm like, I love Paul
You
Dano.
are a Paul
and
Dano
I
whore.
love Michael Cera, and I love Michael Cera. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my female gaze.
Yeah, no, true enough. Did you eat or drink anything fun for this? Because I don't think I can say that I did.
I think Henrina made nachos, which was pretty fitting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It felt right. My only food suggestions were either make or buy a tiramisu because watching them bake that, I was like, I'm fucking hungry for some tiramisu. And then, like, literally, this is the lamest thing ever, but, like, McLovin gets some McDonald's.
No, I like it.
Chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, no. Get yourself some nugs. Get a Big Mac, and you're all good. You're set to go. And I mean, beer-wise, it's like Bud Light. Like, I feel like you know what I mean? Like, what were you drinking in high school? Bud Light. Or just straight vodka?
Nothing. I was an angel.
Yeah, no.
I don't underage drink. Don't do that. It's obey the laws. And then the only other thing I had written down was she's like, you need to get me some Kyle's Killer Lemonade.
Oh my
which
God.
is like obviously like a joke about Mike's Hard lemonade. So like drink like a Mike's Harder. The Mike's Harder blood orange flavor, a personal fave. Or also
specific.
a Four Loko. A Four Loko would kind of feel right for this movie as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I did really like that scene where Michael Cera's talking to, what's her name, Becca or whatever, and, like, describing, like, how they spent their last weekend or anything like that. And it's just the three of them getting drunk in the basement and then, like, just being absolute idiots at, like, their parents' shindig upstairs. I was like, yeah, no, this feels right. I've done this.
He throws up all over his shirt, like.
Exactly. And what would you follow this up with? Because I've got one very specific movie that it doesn't quite jump from one thing to the other, but I think it works. And I think it's got some of the same cast. Megamind?
What? That's such a good one. Do you know what's that meme that's going on right now where it's like no bitches and it's like Megamind? Like literally, what even is that? I don't know, but I really love it. Who from this movie is in Megamind?
I think not Seth Rogen. I think Jonah Hill.
Oh, Jonah Hill plays the redhead guy. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I watched Megamind to ring in the new year in 2021, I think.
Oh, that's fun.
So that feels recent, even though it actually wasn't. But I remember I was like with a very small group of people, and we were like, why do we all have the collective urge to watch Megamind right now?
Why are the vibes in this room pushing us towards a Megamind watch?
Megamind. My answer is super boring. I just said either Booksmart because they are the same, and it would also feel kind of refreshing to after you watch this super, like, misogynistic dude bro. I mean, they learn their lesson, and you do, this movie feels self-aware that, like, I don't think Seth Rogen's a piece of shit. Like,
No.
I'm sure he wrote this on purpose to be like, oh, look at how shitty they're being. They're stupid high school boys. Like, I'm not trying to say it's like that, but it is just, like, it still just feel icky to watch. But so, Booksmart is very wholesome and inclusive and good, so you could make yourself feel good and you can watch that. Or Kick-Ass, just because seeing Fogel in this, I was like, oh, I should watch Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
So, literally super lame, but those are my two answers. I really like Megamind. That's a really good one. Just continue the Jonah Hill train as far as it can take you.
You have to.
21 Jump Street could also be a vibe.
Yeah, no, I thought about that, but I feel like there's too much cops in both of these, so I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where would you rate this? I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 as well. It's really funny, it makes me laugh out loud, but it just doesn't entirely hold up as a concept. But still a very funny movie, probably one of the most quotable movies fucking ever. Fucking calm down, Greg. It's just soccer. Like, and the intro sequence in this movie of Michael Cera dancing to those changing colors. That's probably the best part about this whole film. Like, literally.
Superbad.
Yeah.
There you have it.
So this ends our Male Manipulator March, and we are rolling in to A24 April. We're gonna do some A24 movies. We also have a guest coming on, so if we'll put it in the description. Probably not this week, but next week. It comes out April 1st, which I think is like a Friday. So we'll put it in the first episode of 824 April. It'll be in the description. But Emily and I were guests on a really cool movie podcast hosted by a really awesome lady. So we get a lot of comments being like, movie podcasts are all about dude bros. Like, here's another podcast, by a rad woman. So we were on, it's called Scopophilia, and we talked about The Favorite. So next week, keep your eyes out for that. But it comes out this Friday if you want to. I'll tag her show, actually, in the description. So if you want to go subscribe, you totally should. But she's going to be on our show and sometime next month also. So special guest. Woo, so exciting. But we'll be talking about A24 movies, which is probably a nice little change of pace from all of these like shitty dude bro movies we've been covering. We're going to get like real artsy with it. And, like I said, all our shit's gonna be in the description below. Our merch, go check that out. DM us suggestions for A24 movies or just any movies that you want to hear us talk about. Follow us on all the platforms. And we love you. And here's to respecting women. Again. 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 Again.